another episode of
Welcome, welcome.
Demystifying the Mystical. I'm Angel, and there. Who are you again? What's your
I'm
name?
Randy. I'm the guy that everyone can forget. It's okay. Don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. He's just trying to help you.
Yeah,
Shh.
exactly.
It's really funny you bring that up because that's kind of funny to me too. In the subject that we're going to bring up, and this was Randy's idea, and I love it. And it's a subject that I always call the blocks, the barriers, the bumps, and the walls, the things that get in the way. Because today it feels like there's a lot of stuff getting in the way. And you brought up the man behind the curtain. That's the forever reference to the Wizard of Oz, right? The pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. And as crazy as it seems, it's funny because the man behind the curtain is always trying to help us.
Oh yeah.
That's usually what it is somebody's out there in the behind the scenes trying to help us, but we're
Mm.
suspicious of them.
Why are you trying to help me?
Wow, what's
Why?
going on?
Why?
Who are you? What do you?
You can't help me for nothing. What do you mean?
And so we end up focusing on the thing behind the curtain and not focusing on what it is we're supposed to do. To me, that's what this whole concept of things that get in the way is about.
hmm I mean, it's the basic law of magic, right? It's misdirection, redirection.
Oh, I love
Why
that.
look here when you can look here?
I love that. That's what the magicians do. They get up there and they
Exactly.
go they go hocus pocus Kalamazoo,
hmm
and they're doing this. In the meantime, the gal's over there in the cute outfit doing
Yep.
something, and we completely miss it because
Exactly,
the
because we're
person.
too busy looking at the hoodoo
Ooh, what
hoop.
is that? Like I know he's doing something with his fingers, so I got to keep my eye on his fingers. In the
Exactly.
meantime, all the action's happening over there, and
Exactly.
that's what life is.
hmm
And we always reference The Matrix, not because it is a fun movie, because the original Matrix is really a really fun movie. But at the end of The Matrix, spoiler alert, for anybody out there I can't imagine anybody that hasn't seen it, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that has not seen The Matrix. But at the end, when he's like the confrontation and Smith is talking, agent talking to the dude, and he's like, we wanted to give humankind a peaceful existence,
Yeah,
but humankind fought it. So we
rejected it.
create we created
hmm
the drama and the trauma and all the craziness because that's the only way that humans felt like they could thrive. We crave blocks and walls and bumps and barriers and all of that. We crave it.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that we crave it, but yet we look at it and we're like, well, why is this happening?
Why is
But
this
yet we
happening? No,
want,
no,
right.
no. Not why is it happening, my friend? Why is it happening to me?
Yes. Why is it happening to me?
And only me.
And then if it's too quiet and it's too nice and too happy, it's like, okay, something's going wrong. Like
What's gonna
what
happen?
what something's waiting. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it's just like
Oh
really like why do we wait
gosh.
for the other shoe?
Oh
Like
my gosh. Years and years ago, I went to Anthony Robbins' seminar, and I think I mentioned this before. And he has this thing he says, if you are in the pit, if you're in the pit with a race car driver before a race, and you look at the race car driver and he says, okay, we're going to win this. Whatever you do, don't hit the wall. What is that race car driver going to do?
he's gonna hit the wall because you
Because
just put it in his head now.
he's focused on hitting the wall. He's not focused on the race.
hmm
He's focused on the wall. So
Yeah.
now he's going to hit the wall. He knows it's there.
Oh yeah.
You
I
can't
mean, you can't not see the wall.
you
So.
can't drive in a circle for 3 hours at
hmm
100 miles an hour and not
Right.
be cognizant that there's a wall sitting over there.
hmm
But he can't focus on the wall
Because you just
because
mentioned don't hit the wall.
because now all if you focus on the trouble, you
hmm
will always have trouble.
Yes, indeed.
And that's when we talk about demystifying, talk about manifestation. Manifestation coach, I've done all kinds of seminars and things where I talk to people about manifestation, and I've taken a lot of them. And people talk about having an altar.
Hmm.
And on your altar, you want to put your dreams, pictures and pieces of things and life. So you have like life fruit, and then money because you want to manifest money. And I'm like, well,
hmm
that's interesting. Um, Tell me why. And so people put all kinds of different things. They put coins and they put a dollar and they put this, that, and the other. And I have this thing. I said, my husband said this to me one time. If you put a dollar
hmm
on your manifestation altar, what do you think you're going to manifest in your life?
That's true.
A dollar.
That is true.
You know? So I'm
Yeah.
not telling everybody to go out there and get $1,000 bill and put it on your altar. If you can afford to do that,
Hmm.
by all means, do that. The thing
Yep.
is, if you're broke and you put a $50 bill on your altar, when you need money, you're going to take that $50 bill.
Hmm.
So it's not about you have to have money on your altar. It's about what you focus on. If you beg for coins, you will forever receive coins.
Yeah. I think it's the illusion of the limitation.
Scarcity.
Hmm.
We focus on the problems. We focus on the obstacles. We focus on what we cannot have.
Which in turn, I wouldn't say is 100% our fault because it's being pumped through social media, through everything, through the movies, and it's become almost a norm to see it happen.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. We are trained, I'm a Christian,
Oh yeah,
and
trained.
we're trained for scarcity.
Hmm.
That's what we're trained for. You're not supposed to
Yeah.
ask. You're not
No,
supposed to ask for
no,
for
that's
for
wrong.
wealth, for wealth.
No, that's being greedy.
That's
Why would
that's
you do that?
greedy and
Hmm.
selfish and all that stuff. And
Oh yeah.
we have to be pure in thought and
Hmm.
pure in ambition. And people who are wealthy are evil, and we don't want to be evil. These are the things that we're taught.
Hmm.
And so even if you get to the point where you're about to reach for the golden ring, you reach for it through the filter of guilt
Yeah.
and judgment, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Am I supposed to have this? Am I really like, is it something that will it make me feel bad because now I have this ring and it turns into a big like pity party on
Oh my
myself
God.
because I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't have to get this, but there's so much other people that don't have, and it's just like, well, yes, that's true, but you can have also. It's okay.
You
Like no one.
can. Oh my gosh. It's really hard to even think about. There's
It is.
nothing, as a Christian who studied the Bible, in the New Testament, there's a lot in both Testaments. There's a lot in there about the wealthy, the tax collector, the royal, the kings, the people with power and money are evil.
Yeah.
And what does the proverb say? That it's easier for a poor man to get in heaven than it is, or some, what is that, through the eye of a needle? A rich man through the eye, something like, I can't remember it now.
Mm.
But it's, if you're wealthy, you're just bad.
Mm.
And I don't get me wrong. Don't come for me, people. There are a lot of really bad wealthy people out there
Yes.
because it's in our nature, it's in human nature to become power hungry the more power we achieve.
Right.
And so if you're able to transcend that as you become wealthy, good for you. It's not the money that makes people bad. It's the people. They were always bad.
Hmm.
They always had the capacity
Yeah.
to
It's
be
the
bad
access of
people.
it. Yeah.
Now they have access to the power and the money, and the true
Mhm.
selves come through. I know people who have money, and some of them are not nice people, and some of them are just wonderful people. And so it's the people, it's who you are. And
Yeah.
so for me, number one, we have to accept that life is an obstacle course. I was in the military, and I don't, not many people have gone through a true obstacle course. And
Right.
people have asked me, do you ever think about doing like the Tough Mudder and all that stuff? Like I lived that. I have no desire to do CrossFit and all that kind of stuff. My life was
Hmm.
CrossFit for years. I'm good. But
But and truthfully, we have been through it, right? And
yeah,
it's like we wouldn't relate the two because it's been so long. But growing up, you've been to the playground, you've been to the
yeah,
monkey bars, you've been
yeah,
jumping through the seesaws, you've played freeze tag and everything. I mean, all of that is natural obstacle courses. So you kind
yep.
of know how to dodge, how to run, how to jump, how to, you know, get away from the thing chasing you. But in our minds, it's more like, okay, well, that's kids' games. That's not reality. That's not.
That's
what's supposed
so
to happen.
that's so good. That's so good because it points to how this stuff is supposed to be preparing us
Hmm.
for adulthood. And it's supposed to be, we used to have the tribal knowledge, right?
Yeah. Tribal
Where
knowledge.
memories were built into where the water is and where the good food is and where to
Hmm.
gather based on our experiences as we grow up, where not
Yep.
to go. The stories that our elders told us about don't go beware the moors because bad things happen to kids that walk out into the forest at night. All
Yeah.
this stuff gets us ready. And you said something a little while ago, like we don't look to history and the stories and the experiences anymore. We look to TikTok.
Exactly. YouTube, TikTok.
Yep.
Who did it better? Who did it worse? Right.
So, I have these conversations with young people all the time as the next generations, the next two generations are coming up. And it's about the oligarchy is evil and we should be more sharing of wealth, and they're mad at people because they don't share the wealth. And I get that, but at the same
Mhm.
time, it's really about the learning and what we're doing to grow as individuals. That's what the obstacle course is about.
Oh yeah.
And the
The
older,
biggest one is learning it. And Jesus mentioned it, right? He said, know yourself or know
yeah,
thyself. It's like if you
yeah,
don't know yourself, how do you
yeah,
know what you like? How do you know what you
yeah.
don't like? How do you know what triggers you? How do you know what not triggers you? Like these are all things that you can point the blame at someone else, or you can point the finger at someone else. You can point the finger at the society. You can point the finger at the government. You can point it everywhere. But at the end of the day, you still have the ultimate choice to say, yes, I want to do it, or no, I don't. There may be circumstances that may hinder that, yes, but there's still a choice to be made whether you want that circumstance to stop you or if you're going to push through it.
Yeah, so true. And I think when we go through, so you talk about the obstacle course at the
Mm.
schoolyard, the monkey bars and the slide, and I'm a Gen Xer. Those slides were real when I was little because they were
Yep.
metal and they sat in the
Oh,
sun.
yeah.
Those were slides back then.
Listen, when you got burned by that, you learn quick.
It was the lessons that we learn. The older
Mhm.
you get, if you don't learn the lessons, those bumps and those barriers and those walls, they get harder.
Oh, yeah. They just
And
get built, they build up
yep,
because you're not learning that lesson.
yep.
So it's almost like, I'm trying to think. It's almost like, that person that stands there and they're like, okay, boom, give you a slap. And you just stand there and you take it. So you get another slap
Turn the
and you
other
just
cheek,
stand there and take it.
and then you turn
And
the
it's like,
other
oh,
cheek.
so you keep turning cheeks and you're like, okay, so when are you gonna stop the hand instead of just turning the cheek?
Like, please don't slap me anymore. Yeah, but
Right.
it's funny that it's funny you say that because sometimes all you got to do is ask, could you please
Yeah.
stop? And then they'll, oh, I'm sorry, and they'll stop.
I didn't know that
Um,
was hurting you.
I
Okay.
didn't know I didn't know that there was an option to ask. There's always an
Right.
option to ask. This is open your mouth and ask. But the thing is, obstacles are the lessons, and this is the
Yes.
hardest thing to talk about for people. Because if you are walking the walk, where you get up every day and you do your meditation and you pray and you do everything and you're walking the walk and you feel like I'm doing everything that my guru told me to do,
Hmm.
and I'm still hitting this. It's just still hard. I don't understand. And
Yep.
that right there is the answer. You don't understand,
Yep.
which means that you have to understand. So how do we go from not understanding to understanding? What's the one thing that you do to understand something? You're in class and the professor said something that you don't understand. What do you do?
I mean, your first question should be
Yeah,
to
you
ask the
you
question.
you ask the question.
But if you don't ask the question, you sit in the classroom and you're like,
I don't understand.
you look around and you're like, well, who else is with me that doesn't understand? And you start to see people that don't understand too, and you're like, okay, I'm not the only one.
Not the
So
only
you
one.
just let it slide, let it
Yeah.
go, and
Yep.
you stay there not understanding,
But
and you wonder why you didn't pass the class.
don't you think sometimes we don't ask questions because we think that people will think we're stupid?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
especially when in elementary and all the younger earlier years, when you asked a question that was stupid, you either got laughed at or the teacher kind of made you feel like you were dumb. And then it was like you got chastised for asking a question because you didn't understand it. So now you have a fear of not even speaking up because you don't want that to happen again because you know how it
Yeah.
felt, and it just compiles the more years you go on. Like I worked with someone that she was so afraid just to speak her mind in a meeting when someone said something. She had like severe anxiety and just closed up.
Yeah.
Anytime someone even called on her, she's just like she couldn't even fathom it. And it's
Yeah.
something that's built over the years.
I can relate to that. I can totally relate to that because it's the judgment of others
Hmm.
presses upon you so hard.
Yeah.
And when you've come out of life where your life story has created trauma in your process,
Yeah.
it's it's so much easier for you to talk yourself into shutting down than it is to break through.
Yes.
And so the asking of the questions, so there's several ways to ask questions, of course. There's the human ask, where I say, "Hey Randy, can you help me with this?" Where we
Hmm.
ask of people. And
Hmm.
then there's the spiritual ask.
Yes.
And that's, I think, where we're missing.
I think so because it's been so, I guess, scrutinized on, where
Yep.
if they talk about, oh, well, you're talking to spirit, oh, you're a nut job, you're a crazy case, you're this. What do you mean talking to spirit? What is you're not talking to spirit, you're talking to the demons. You're talking,
So,
and it's just like,
oh my
okay.
gosh. Oh my gosh. You opened up, boy, did you open up a door. Oh my gosh. But it's true though. We can, I grew up in a community of Southern Baptists, where people speak tongues and they
Mhm.
heal and they do all this stuff. I
Yep.
grew up around all that stuff, and then I became a Christian spiritualist. And then it was, metaphysician it's way out there, and
Mhm.
there's so much judgment around you're speaking to spirit outside of the norm of being
Yeah.
inside the building of the church.
Yep.
And you could do the same thing, if you really are a Jesuit and you follow the teachings of Jesus, then you know that Jesus had all kinds of really very fabulous gifts.
Hmm.
And many times he said, this too you can do.
Yes, and more.
Yeah, and more. He prophesied, he healed, he turned water into wine, he took
Yep.
one fish and one loaf of bread and fed a nation. He
Hmm.
did all this stuff,
Hmm.
and now we frown upon it
Yep.
and judge people for it. So if you are truly a person who feels like you are being tapped and you're communicating, I've had people tell me you're talking to demons. I'm like, I
Mm.
call my mom a demon. That's horrifying.
Right.
Because you don't understand it. And I think that that's a real conversation for people to get.
Mhm.
Are there people out there talking to demons? Of course there are. And I don't know who they are because I don't deal with those people. It's none of my
Yep.
business, and I'm not interested.
No, by all means, you do you.
You do you, boo. And I just know that I do not, and that if you are praying, you're talking to spirit. If you
Hmm.
pray, you're talking to God. We call God the Holy Spirit.
Hmm.
You are talking to spirit. So don't be afraid of people telling you what you can and cannot do. The person to ask when life is challenging you with understanding, not, I don't know how to write a check. You go to your bank, like, can you help me write a check? The things that are tangible, that are about, I don't know how to drive a stick shift, do I stop at a yellow light or do I drive forward through it? These are tangible questions that there is a person someplace that can answer it for you.
Yep.
But the things, the blocks, the barriers, the bumps and the walls, these are spiritual.
And you would
And,
never know it.
and
You
if
think it's you or something else.
and if you're like a girlfriend of mine years ago was in a bad relationship, and she was talking to some of us and helping again getting some advice. And one of the things that she said to us was, why do I always get the same guy? That's a really good question.
Yeah.
That's not a question I can answer for you. That's a
Hmm.
question for spirit. Because why do you always get the same guy? Because he's never good to you.
Right.
He's always bad to you.
Hmm.
And you get out of that relation, then you get right back in with another guy that's the same.
Same. Yeah.
Why is that? And those are the things that we need to go inside and do that internal work.
Yeah,
So when it comes to demystifying this, because that's what we're like the myth busters
there you go. The
of
Mythbusters of demystifying.
the myth. So yeah, that's what we're doing. It's like we're the busting, the
Hmm.
demystifying busting of this is that this is internal. This is about you.
Yeah,
You got to
there's
know who
something
you are.
missing, or yeah, something missing, or something that you're attracted to that is, you know, raising that red flag in you. That's like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's a hero complex where you feel like, oh, well, you know what? I can fix this person. I can heal this person. I'm going to be the good person and help them because I see them going through something. And you keep putting yourself in that situation and you're just trying to help, but not seeing that that's what's happening.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then there's the whole I don't deserve.
Hmm. I don't deserve happiness.
So I'm just going to take this. And
Yeah,
we sometimes we even know that that's what's going on with us.
yeah. Like I don't deserve anything better, so I have to settle for this. No one's gonna want me because I'm damaged.
And I let's be honest. Let's do a little bit of real talk.
Hmm.
Sometimes you need support for that. And so I am
Yeah,
a big fan of therapy. I think that that helps the professionals out there that can help you talk through and work through stuff. If you feel
yeah.
like you've got trauma that you need to work on, sometimes we don't get past it because we feel like if we light candles and pray that we can work through anything.
Hmm.
And I always tell people if you pray, what's that story I'm always telling? The guy is drowning and he's like, please God save me. And the boat
Yeah.
comes, I don't need
Well,
you.
yeah.
And the airplane, the helicopter comes, I don't need you.
Yeah.
And then he dies. He says, God, I prayed to you and ask for your help. And God says, I don't know what you want from me. I sent you a boat. I sent you a helicopter.
Yeah.
Sometimes when someone comes into your life that's a therapist or some sort of practitioner to help you, that is the answer to your prayer. So we have to become aware.
Yes. Aware of the signs and
Yeah.
looking for the options that come up because they may be small. You may not even think that it's an option, but you need to be able to be clear enough to see, you know what, this person was sent to help me, or this situation was sent to help me. What is this trying to show me? What is this trying to teach me?
Gosh, yeah. And the teachings. So I have a couple of theories that I work through on
Mm,
this, and so there's the lessons that we learn, and like the example I gave of the I'm always attracted to the same guy, and then there's the other lessons, and I talk about the ask. Sometimes it's not even about asking; it's about okay, I get it. I
mm.
get this lesson now. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. You don't have to take me through
Hmm.
this anymore.
Right.
I acknowledge. You'd be surprised how that simple process will resolve a lot for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing as we said earlier, right? Sometimes it's just about asking, or it's about just saying, okay, thank you.
Can we talk about walls for a second?
Of course.
Because we talk about the driver hitting the wall. And I don't know if you watch racing. I don't watch it. My spouse watches it, so I end up being the victim of it because
Mm.
it's what's on. I'm a football girl, but you can say the same thing about the football player.
Oh yeah.
The front line is there, and then they say let's go, and then they run into the guy. That's a wall,
That's a
right? Those
wall.
those
That's a
guys
big wall.
those guys are big. Those guys are huge
Right.
and muscle. That's a wall. And
Hmm.
so the football player when he's in that position, he's choosing to hit the wall.
Yes.
He's choosing to do it.
Yep.
It is a part of his job description.
Yeah. It comes with the territory.
Right. And even the race car driver, he doesn't want to hit the wall, but he's choosing to because he knows that there is a high likelihood that driving around a racetrack at 100 miles an hour,
Hmm.
170 miles, whatever ridiculous speed that they're going,
Yep.
may result in hitting a wall or getting in a crash. They're choosing to do it. You don't have to choose as an accountant to hit walls. You don't have to
Yes.
choose to do that. You can choose to do something else.
Yeah.
Why do we choose to hit walls?
I think it comes from of the again, you know, the history of pick a job, stick with a job. Like there is no jack of all trades. It's like once you're in, you're locked in and you're locked in for life. And it's funny because there's a movie called the B movie. And the
With the
B
bees, like the
movie,
bzzz
yep.
bees. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it talks about that, where they tell them to pick a job when they get to a certain age, and then that's their job for the rest of their life. And they don't get to choose, they don't get to change, they don't get to lock it. Like once they choose that job, that's it. And they said they work them until they die and it's done.
Move on.
So I think we as a society have a fixation on once you get a job, that's it. You can't change. And I've seen this mostly in a lot of the older folks because they figure, well, you know what, I'm too old. I've been doing this for 30, 40 years, or I'm not gonna change. Like, for me to start something new is just too much work, and it's like they just accept it. And you don't have to. Like you can change no matter how old or how many years you've been with something. It's okay to start something new. You're not starting from the beginning because you have experience. You have years of experience, and you can
Wow.
transmute that same knowledge to something new.
You're talking about giving up.
Yes.
You're talking about giving up. And as somebody who has, in the last few years, hit a wall where I've had to make a decision to change my career, it's so easy to give up,
Oh, yes.
especially as you get older.
It's way easier to just throw in the towel and say, I can't.
It's like, I can't. I just can't. I think we do that a lot because it's hard. And somebody
Yes.
said something to me years ago, one of my many spiritual development courses, that when you're put here for great things, the challenges are tougher.
Yes.
You think about the difference between training to be a cashier at fast food versus training to be a Navy SEAL.
Mm-hmm.
It's tougher to be a Navy SEAL, and the expectations are higher for what it is physically, mentally, and emotionally that you're going to need to do. Just not
Yes.
just to be a superhero and be strong, you also have to make hard, instant decisions about life
Yeah.
as a Navy SEAL versus ringing people up for their burritos and their hamburgers. So I'm not disparaging the fast food worker. I'm just saying the
Mm-hmm.
training is different.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were in a situation where you had to make a decision about your life, and we usually don't have these types of scenarios. They usually are in movies and television. And I watched it, I think it was The Lioness,
Mm.
where something happened to her when she was young and she gave up life and somebody stole her money. And so she was somebody, her boyfriend was beating her up, and the recruiter came out and said, "Get away from her." And he brought her in and he was ministering to her and she's like, life sucks, blah 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 blah. And he says, what if I told you I can give you a way to turn your life around?
Mm-hmm.
And he stuck her in the military, and then she became the lioness, which
Yeah.
which was a she became basically a Navy SEAL. So that's
Mm-hmm.
not usually how life works. That's
Right.
very cinematic. That's not usually how life works, but that is how life works, where it's like sometimes we get knocked down
Mm-hmm.
and it's an opportunity for us to stand up and recreate ourselves, right?
Yes.
Why don't we do that? Why do we stay down?
I I want to say it's a multi-layered answer, right? Because it's not, I don't think it's the fact that we don't want to. I think it's more of the mental mindset of it's so much work. Like we've seen the beauty of it, we've seen the niceness of it, and we always look at it and we're like, wow, I really wish I can do that. But then when it tells you, okay, well, that means that you have to work out for, however many times. You have to be able to do 100 push-ups. You have to be able to run like 5 miles with 100 pounds on your back. You have to be able to do, swimming with and you start hearing that, you're like, oh my God. You're like, nope, nope, no more. I'm good. Nope,
It's
I'll stay
work.
down. So it,
It's
it turns
work.
into something where you psych yourself out where you pick your own hard. You either are hard because you don't want to get up, or you're hard because you want to train to get up. And it's an ultimate choice that you have to make.
That's so good. You pick your own heart. I'm writing that down. I really like that because I think that, you're right. You're absolutely right. We live in a society where we make it look so easy,
Hmm.
where people are becoming famous and wealthy doing nothing. on social media taking pictures of what they ate today.
Yeah.
And so it makes it look easy. And it's always the 1%. And
Hmm.
please don't, again, don't come for me. This is statistically what it looks like in every profession,
Hmm.
whether you're an actor, a director,